Okay, this is number 23. This is a tricky one. Again, from Are You Ready for Calculus? And they tell us that a circle is tangent to the y-axis. So I drew a sketch for this one, and I did draw it pretty much, well, not exactly to scale, but I did kind of draw a little bit of here so you could understand what's going on. Here the circle is tangent to the y-axis at the point 0, 3. Okay. Or at y equals 3. If it's tangent to the axis, that would be the point 0, 3. Okay, and it has one x-intercept at x equals 1. So this is the center. Well, since it's tangent to the circle, remember we talked about this earlier, that tangent line, the segment that joins the point of tangency to the center, is going to be perpendicular to the tangent line. So this is going to go right through the center, so this is going to be perpendicular since this line joining the center of the circle to the point of tangency is perpendicular to the tangent line. Since the tangent line is vertical, then this is going to be horizontal, so it's going to go right through the center. So that means the coordinate of the center, the y coordinate of the center must be 3 units. This would be 3 units up. This center line would be 3 because it's perpendicular to this point of tangency, and that's the y-axis is vertical, so that's horizontal. So now I know the horizontal coordinate of my center. Now that's the horizontal. The vertical coordinate, or I should say the x coordinate, I don't know. But I do know that it's going to be 3 units up. So I could call the center H3. Okay? And we also know that the point 0, 3 is on the circle. So I can put this in our general form for a circle. Okay, h minus 0 squared plus 3 minus 3 squared equals r squared. Okay? Because that's my center, and then I also have a 3 there. 0, 3. So I can use these 2 points, and that's going to give me the radius. Now, I don't know exactly what the radius is. I just know that this, because this could be, I don't know how many units this is. I don't know what my x value is, but whatever it is, I'm going to call it h. Okay? Now, since 1, 0 is on the circle, we can also say that the center, the distance from the center, h3 to 1, 0, will also be equal to the radius squared. Well, the distance actually be the radius, so I can put that in the equation like this, and rather than using the point 0, 3, I'll use the point 1, 0. So h minus 1 squared plus 3 minus 0 squared is also equal to r squared because the radius is the same for the whole circle. It's always this r. Okay? So I'm using these 2 points. And I don't know what h is, but I've got enough information to find it because I've got 2 different sets of data there because I've got two points that are actually on the circle, the point 0, 3 and the point 1, 0. Okay? Hope you can kind of understand that. Okay? I think I could probably said it a little bit better. Okay, so now we got two equations. We know a little bit about the center, and we know these 2 points, and we know that their distance from there to here is going to be r squared, and the distance from there, I'm sorry, r, and the distance from there to there will be r. So I put those in the equation. So since these both are equal to r squared, I can set them equal to each other. Because I'm just trying to find out what h is, and then I'll know the center of the circle. So I just set these equal to each other. Now h minus 0 squared is just h squared. 3 minus 3 is 0, so that goes away. So on the left, it's just h squared. On the right, I've got h minus 1 squared, and again, 3 minus 0 squared is just 9, and then I can square out this binomial. That's just going to be h squared minus 2h plus 1. So that's this binomial squared plus 9. Then I can simplify it. And if I just subtract h squared from both sides, I end up with negative 2h plus 10. And if I subtract 10 from both sides, this is what I have. So I skipped some steps there. But you can see how you go from this equation to this equation. They're equivalent. Then divide by negative 2, and I get h equals 5. So my center is at 5, 3. So this position is 5. Well, since that's the center, the distance from this point, 0, 3, to 5, 3 is just 5. So my radius is 5. So now I pretty much have the equation of the circle. Now what they wanted you to also find before you found the equation of the circle in the A part, okay, was you were asked to find the other x-intercept. So again, I know that the distance from my center of my circle, now my circle is 5, 3, to any point, 5 minus h, 5 minus x squared, plus 3 minus y squared is 25. That's for any point on the circle. So if I've got any point in the circle, the distance from the center is going to be equal to 5. So it fits into this equation. H minus a point squared plus y minus, or k minus a point squared, because this is the center, 5, 3, equals the radius squared for any xy on the circle. So if I solve this, and now what I want to do is I want to find the other x-intercept. So what's the value at the x-intercept? Well, the x-intercept will be some value x and 0, because the y-coordinate's 0 at the x-intercept. Right? The y-coordinate of any point on the x-axis is 0. So I just have to find the point from the, I can just put this in this equation of the circle, and I know that 5 minus x squared, that's my center, plus 3 minus 0, that's going to be the y-coordinate, equals 25. This will hold true for the x-intercepts. So I'll have to just solve this equation. And that's, again, any x-intercept will be the sum x 0, because it's on the y-axis. So if I just solve this out, again, I got a binomial square there, so I can square this out, and I get 25 minus 10x plus x squared. 3 squared, 3 minus 0 is just 3, so 3 squared is 9 equals 25. And then I've got a nice quadratic equation. I can subtract 25 from both sides, move this over, move this negative 10, switch these around, and I got a nice quadratic here. So let's solve this quadratic. So it's easy enough to factor. And it's x minus 1, x minus 9. So after I factor it, I've got two possible solutions. X equals 1. Well, that's the one I had. That was given. Or my point 1, 0. And then for this x minus 9, x equals 9, that's the other x-coordinate. So that was the other x-coordinate. So the circle touches at x equals 1, and it touches at x equals 9. And then the b part, they just wanted you to deduce the equation of the circle. Well, that was real easy because we already had the center and the radius up here. Here's the center, and there's the radius. So x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 25. So you've got that part. So that was the easy part after we did all this other material up there. So take a look at that one. That was a tricky one because you basically were dealing with two equations there. So that A part was a little tricky.